Hey everyone, Chris Bark here, and today I'm going to be taking you through a demonstration of our electrical wholesale EPOS system. It's not just an EPOS system, it's a full management suite for your entire business. It'll do things from obviously taking money off customers in sales screen, to invoicing, to accounts, to account customers within invoicing with credit limits and credit days, customer loyalty, second screen, PDA, tablet, all kinds of different things I'm going to show you through in today's demonstration. The first section I want to talk to you about today is security or logging in. Now, within our system, you can decide which members of staff have access to which features. So in other words, you can decide who does what within the system. The great thing about the way the system's set up is it records everything that's done by a member of staff, which allows you to keep an eye on them and make sure that they're not doing anything that they shouldn't be. So you can log in three different ways. You can log in off a username and password, where you would press username and password. You can obviously, if you've got the likes of a tablet, you would log in with a username and password. You can log in on a swipe card, the likes of these. So basically what will happen with them is you'll swipe the card and it'll log you in. Or you can do what most businesses who've got a full EPOS system do, which is log in using a fingerprint. So if I do that, like so, if you see down the bottom it says log out Chris, because it knows that I've logged in. If we go to say accounting, as an owner of a business, I have full access. So if we log in using this finger, so pretend it's someone different. So if I log in with that as if I'm a junior member of staff, I now don't have access to any of the features that I had as a manager. If I come back on as a manager or an owner of a business, I can put my thumb back on and it gives me full access again. This is a really secure way of basically logging into your system. It allows you to keep track on who's done what, and if you're ever worried about anyone ever stealing from you, etc., it'll give you the information that will be able to prove it. If you want to see how I've done that, I've caught 3 members of staff who stole over £3,000 from me. Those videos are on our YouTube channel. Next, I want to talk to you about the sales screen. So the sales screen, in my mind, is the most important part of your business. It's the part that allows you to take your money off your customers. And obviously without that, we don't make any money. So with that being said, we've designed a sales screen specifically for you. So if I come into the sales screen again, you'll see that we've designed this specifically around electrical wholesalers like you. What we've done is we've built this in a way that we feel is the most efficient for you. We built it around working electrical wholesalers. And this is the way that we've actually come up with that works best. If you don't like the way this screen looks, have a look at the other ones that are on the screen now. You can by all means pick one of them. And again, if you don't like the way any of them look, you can literally go onto our sales layout and create your own. It takes seconds to create. It's a really quick process. So the way that we've designed this is that basically it's all about the carts. It's all about what products you're actually buying. So if I scan a product, or scan multiple products like so, you'll see that it comes up with quantity, name of the product, price excluding VAT, price include, so no full price, price ex VAT including tax, etc. Supply cost, supplier code, current stock, business cost, etc. Now, obviously that's when you scan a product. We've also got bulk items on here, so we've got bulk items, fast selling lines, etc. So if I do bulk items and say, when I press plugs like so, it will shove them into the cart just the same. So you can obviously have every product on a button as well if you want. If you went to some of our general retail stores, they're all about buttons and about products. In this particular case, we've done what works, we feel, to make you be able to serve the quickest, which means you've got one more click to get into all your products, but it means you can add new customers, you can do link to your website, you can book on account and stuff, all from the front screen, and it means we can get this massive big cart as well. If you want to have multiple of a product, you can click on the quantity next to it and you press 5 of that product and it do 5 at 83p, and then you've got ex VAT and including tax there as well. So you can see what the full line total is whenever we scan a product like so. So for me, that allows you to see an overview of what you're selling straight away. You've got the total to pay, you've got and including VAT and excluding VAT there, and then at point of sale. If I just do a cash sale first, if they were to give me £95 cash, when I press cash door will open, and in this particular case the receipt will print. So it's printed us a receipt. Now this receipt will have your logo on, store address, phone number, order number, till number, who you served by, date and time, all your products, VAT total, tender change, any slogans you've got and stuff as well as having a QR code on the bottom that can link to your Facebook, your Twitter, your YouTube, or just your website if you want. But you can also, it prints out a barcode on the bottom. Now the barcode's there for if you ever need a refund. So if you need a refund, like so, when I scan a barcode, it'll bring up everything within that transaction. So if I wanted to refund the CCTV camera, I can press refund and it'll go back into the cart. So it'll tell us that we currently owe the customer £80. If I want to do an exchange, I can do an exchange over the top like so, and then it'll change how much we owe the customer. And then I can refund if I wanted to, cash, card, check, mail order or voucher. Obviously if you were a credit customer, or if they were a credit customer should I say, I'll show you how to do that in a second. But in this particular case, you can give them back cash exactly the same way they paid, or you can do what I do in my store, which is shove them onto a credit note prints, and that'll then, this one's valid for the next 6 months, so you can actually basically give that to your customer. Great thing about that is about 40% of customers never use their credit note, which means that the money's not leaving your till. Okay, just so you know, here there's a return section, so if that product's got to go back to manufacturer because it's broken, it's got a return section, and it'll basically put it into a list for you of all the returns for each manufacturer, etc. Okay, I've already shown you what happens when you scan a barcode. I'll show you now what happens if you scan a barcode and it's not in your system. So it comes up with, it gives a little siren like so, and then what it does is it'll bring up our new stock item screen. Now if you want, you can very quickly put a name, selling price, supplier cost, press accept, and you can save. But you can also press this button here, which searches our database. Now the great thing from your point of view is we've got about 6.5 million products on our product database. So basically as soon as you press that, it searches our database like so, it finds what the product is. If I press insert and accept, the second I've done that, that product's then in your system from then on. Now, how long does it take you to put a product into your current system? Most people tell me it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. We've just done that in about 10 seconds there. So how much time will that save you overall on all your products? You can hold loads more info on the stock if you wanted, just so you know. I just did the very basic stuff there to show you how quick it is to put it into the cart. Right, if you click the question mark, so I want to show you some extra stock features now. If you click the question mark next to the product, you get a picture and text, which can be then uploaded to your website. So if you change your picture here, it can change on your website, depending on what website you've got. Same on the text. Great thing about that website link means though, if you ever sell anything online, it will reduce the quantity in stock in store. It'll also tell your members of staff in store to go and pick that item to be delivered or to be sent out by web orders. You've got this little box here which shows you your current quantity that you've got of that product in all your other stores if you've got multi-sites, so it'll allow you to see that. You've got a few other things here. So do you charge the same price to every customer? I would doubt it. To give you an idea, in my store I have 8 prices which are all managed through my system. So I have retail price, wholesale price, staff discount, gold, silver, bronze, customers, I have online price, and then I have one-off price. So certain customers get certain prices on certain products. I can manage all them from here. If I want to print a label for that new product that I've just created, I press print label and accept, and that produces me a label like so. Now you can obviously there are sticky labels you can do hundreds of different label designs, but I'll show you them in the in our shelf edge label design section later on. Quickly, a few other features: you can find all manufacturers who sell that product and how much they would charge you for it, and also what price other people charge for that product. So that is basic stuff so far. I want to quickly now just slightly shift tack and show you what would happen if you want to pay on account and do customer invoices, etc. Let's do one of them. Let's do one of them. In fact, let's do 5 of those. What I want to do now is want to create a decent order and put it onto someone's account. So if I do that, I can select a customer like so. So I want to select that particular customer. If they've got one of your loyalty cards, you can swipe the card down the side and that'll log them in. It'll tell you who the customer is, and their telephone number, etc. up in the top right of your screen. So it gives you basically an overview of who the customer is. If I then press book onto account like so, it's going to warn me I'm over their credit limit because it's a demo database. So you can set how much people are allowed to spend. It then it's like creating an invoice for you now, so you can give an invoice reference, invoice note, delivery address, etc. You can also take a signature on that particular product, like so. So if I use the signature pad, whenever I'm signing in here, you'll see it's actually drawing it on the screen like so. So if I press accept and accept, that's then saving this transaction against that particular customer's account. Now if I want, I can have that so it prints the receipt as well. So that's printed me the receipt. You'll actually see that it's also got the customer signature on it. So that's a normal receipt like so. If you want, you could also have printed the full invoice out. So I've already pre-printed this because I haven't got a full A4 printer set up here. You can have A4 printers set up. That'll have your logo, it'll have your store address, etc. It'll have invoice details, so who you're sending it, who you actually invoicing, what products you've got, value, VAT, total, any of your terms and conditions in the bottom. It's got their signature and stuff as well. Obviously that gets bigger as the more products you put into the transaction as well. So that's, you can do full invoice art. Just so you know, if you wanted to, you can go special functions and invoice, and you can actually see your invoices on the screen as well. So if I do invoice details and that particular customer again, you then got that particular invoice like so, but I can print the selected if I wanted. So what this is doing is it's creating me this full invoice ready to be either printed out in this particular case, or if I was, and you'll see it had the signature and stuff on, or it will actually email the invoice over as well. So it can automatically email the invoice rather than you having to print it out, which obviously saves on paper, etc. So that again is ways of speeding you up in regards to creating invoices, etc. I know how long it takes to create invoices normally. We basically process it as a transaction, which obviously we want to do really quickly, and it'll then create invoices, etc. for you. Last couple of things I'll show you is if you scan products like so, you've got a few other features you can do in here, like stock options. You can do like markdown as waste. So if those products were damaged, you can mark them down as waste. It'll take it off your stock, off your profits, and report it out for you at the end of the week, month, year. Same if you like comp a product, so if you wanted to give out a free sample, you could do the same. You can do invoices as well. You can do discounts at the till. So you can do loads of features at point of sale to basically speed up your serving process. One last thing I'll quickly show you is if you start serving a customer like so, because I don't know whether you get it, I get it all the time in my store, where you start serving a customer and then they'll decide they want to have a conversation, or they want to ask you how to actually set up that particular camera, etc. If that's the case and you want to be able to still serve someone else, you can switch the cart to serve someone else like so for £10 cash. Cash all open, and then you can go back to cart one and all your stuff is still there. Basically, the way our sales screen is designed is about making you as efficient as possible, allowing you to serve customers as quickly as possible and giving them the best service, which will then basically mean you can serve more customers, give them a better experience, and hopefully then grow your business that way. Next, I want to quickly run you through invoicing and customer account management basically. So the way our system's set up, you can actually run your entire business through it. So you're able to run like your customers, so they can have credit limits, credit days, if you give credit to your customers, that is. If you do that, you've got your own customer section here, which allows you to manage your customers. So in this particular case, I'm going to go into customer invoices, and we're going to pick a particular customer, one that I've already put an invoice against today. Now, the great thing from your point of view is you can see all the invoices this particular customer's ever had. So it breaks down invoice number, date created, payment date, outstanding, and original. So you can email that invoice if you want. You can print the selected, so you can produce an invoice. So you can print just one invoice, so you've got a physical copy. You can bulk print invoices for all customers. So you can do customers who owe money, customers who owe money now and in the future. So so total debtors, and then current people who are outstanding. People who owe money between specific dates. You can pick your dates you want to look at it from. You can print them out. You can email. You can also do customer statements. So I could print a customer statement. I can show all aged debtors. I can show all current debtors. So in other words, we can see who owes us money, or who owes us what money at whatever time. It gives us like this big overview. Just so you know, you can see like an overview of this customer, which is total amount currently outstanding, amount overdue, amount spent on credit, remaining credit limit. You've got total number of invoices, total number of unpaid invoices. So this customer's never paid an invoice because we're just using it as a demo database today. When they pay an invoice, it will then flag it up. In fact, I'll actually quickly show you paying an invoice now, just because that'll actually probably help you see how it works. So if we want to, I'm just going to switch to a different cart like so, and then what we want to do here is go into special functions and invoice details. we want to pay past invoice on this particular customer. So actually let's quickly select the customer. Oh, one sec. Let's go select customer, and we'll select the same customer, and we want to pay a past invoice. So this will bring up all the invoices that they want to pay, well, all the invoices that are currently outstanding. So if I wanted to pay those 2 invoices there, I can press pay selected, and then it works out the total. Now if you want, you could do a partial payment, so I could pay £500 off, and what that'll do is it'll pay 413 off the oldest invoice, and then it'll leave, if I pay £500, it'll leave £61 on the last invoice. So in fact, I'll actually do that, so £500, just so you can see it doing all the maths for you. So if I want to put that onto card, like so, that's then actually, if we then go back to the customer section, just so I can actually show you specifically what's happened, it'll then show us that we've got a partial payment, so we currently owe £61.58 against the 413 original. We've now gone from 5 invoices to 4. I can show all, and that'll show me all invoices for this particular customer, and it adds the 5th one in. So you can pick which invoices it does. It can become intelligent for you, where it'll take payments off different invoices. It'll essentially manage your entire customer side. If you want to see a more in-depth demonstration of how this works and how it could work for you, make sure you contact us and we can take you through a full demo. The next section I want to talk you through is stock control. Now, stock control, although being quite boring, is a real good way to actually improve your efficiency within your business and ultimately improve your profits. We have a really comprehensive stock control system. We can manage your entire warehouse down to an individual store. Even multiple warehouses and stuff can all be managed from our centralized stock system. So you can look at your stock manager, which is basically where we hold information on our stock products. So we can hold information on the product, so you can have multiple suppliers, multiple barcodes, multiple images that are uploaded to websites and stuff. You can produce price lists from in there if you want price lists for your customers. You can do basically anything you can think of. You can do warehouse location. Any information you want to hold on stock can be held within there. You can have scheduled price increases. You can do formula-based products, which basically says if you do, say, a kit, you might do an alarm kit or a CCTV kit. What it would do then is it would have, if in a CCTV kit you might have 10 cameras plus cable plus ends, be it BNC or Ethernet, etc. And whenever you sell a kit, it will put all of those products in the cart and it'll take all the quantities off each of the individual products within it. So you can do them within there. You can do supplier manager, you can do supplier data importer and types manager, etc. One I want to talk to you about though is replenishment. So I want to ask you, how do you place an order? So most businesses we go to, when I ask how do you place an order, they do it through walking around with a pen and pad, and it's by member of staff knowledge. Now, that's the way I used to do it in my retail stores. The problem with that I found was that we weren't always the most efficient. We'd forget to order products, we'd over-order on certain things. We've got certain members of staff who had preferences for certain products, so they would order more because they like the product, or they would order less because they don't like the product. And actually, it basically meant we weren't actually that great at ordering. So what we did is we moved over to automatic reordering, which is what I would suggest for you. Excuse me. Which is what I'd suggest for you. Now, when we did that, we managed to save 18 man hours a week, literally by going to automatic reordering. So it saved those hours, but it also made us much more efficient. It meant that we were getting the products in that we needed when we needed them. So if I want to create an order through the system, I can do it in a number of ways. We can do it by blank order. We can do it based on previous sales. So you could say, what have I sold in the last week that I can order from stacks? And it will reorder me that. Or you can do basically the way that I would want you to do it, which is when I get down to a certain level, reorder me back up to another level. So basically when I get down to 10 of these products, reorder me back up to 50. That's the way that, say, supermarkets would do it, and that's the way that works most efficiently for most businesses. So the way we do that is create an order based on min-max, and then you pick your supplier. Now, we've specifically picked like a demo database that's just got a blank supplier, just so that it can show you how easy it is to create an order. You literally press accept, like so, and this will then look at what we've got currently in stock, and it's created me an order for £14,815.40p. If I press edit items, it shows me every single product I need to order based on what I've got in stock. You can click on any of the products you want, like so, and it will show you total sold in the last 7 days, last 14 days, last 30 days, most sold in a week, least sold in a week. You can get all these stats about the product, like so. So I can go in there, I can see the most sold on a Saturday, the least sold on a Saturday, etc, etc. Gives you really good stock information. Now, you've got a load of other features within here, so if I don't want to order those products, what I didn't say then was the reason we want to know the stats is we want to know if we're over ordering. So if the most we've ever sold in a week's 2 and we're buying 20 of them, we're probably going to be holding too much stock. So if I decide I want to change an order, I can change the quantity or I can remove them like so. So let's remove them from the particular order. We could then add more products. So if you press search like so, it'll show you every product on your database. So you could search by name, you can search by barcode, by type, by supplier. You can basically add to your order whenever you want. You can also change highlighting, so you can show items you can buy cheaper from somewhere else. So you might have the same product that you could buy from 5 different suppliers. Obviously one's going to be cheaper than the others. You might though choose to pay more in certain circumstances. So you might say, I'm going to pay more for that product because I know I'm going to be placing an order with this supplier today, so it'll allow you to show if you can buy it cheaper from somewhere else. You might also do it because the place where you can buy it cheaper might take 6 weeks to come in, and we might need to get that product into stock now. So it allows you to change your order up and down. Once you're happy with your order, you can print it out, you can email it through, you can phone it, you can fax it, all from this particular section of the system. You've also got seasonal mins and maxes, so you might hold more stock in, say, the summer than you do in the winter, or vice versa. You can have seasonal mins and maxes built in. And the system is also intelligent, so you've got to run it for a period of time, but it will then tell you where it thinks you hold too much stock, or where it thinks you don't hold enough stock, based on what you sold and based on how often you place your orders, etc. It's a really clever thing, but it basically means we can massively reduce the amount of stock you have to hold, whilst still maximising the amount of profits you can get, basically. So it's a really clever way of doing it, and it's a really good system to use because it gives you information that allows you to make informed decisions. Next, I want to talk to you about statistics. So stats are the way that we actually analyse our business. It allows us to see what's happening and when it's happening. So we've got a really comprehensive statistics section where you can basically view any information you need about your particular business. So you can do things like custom reports, you can do staff manager, instant log, cash up manager. If you've got multi-sites, you can do chain stats, but I actually want to look at a local store. So I want to look at one individual store and how it performs. So the way we do that is you pick on stats and then you choose which days you want to look at. So if I press show details like so, it will show you how much money's been done between those 2 dates. It will show you quantity sold, name of the product, supply cost, selling price, profit. So if I do that one there, if I do that, it will show me what products we've actually sold within our business. So supply cost, selling price, net profit. You've got gross income, net income, profit, total stock cost, profit after that, backable income, back free income, back estimate, transactions, cash, card, check, mail orders, vouchers, and on credit. You've got average income, average stock cost, average net profit, average number of transactions. You've got your percentages depending on how you work it out. You've got markups and PORs within there. You've got past data, so you want to see, it allows you to see how you're doing versus last week, last month, last year. You want all these to be green because that will mean we're making more money. But obviously this is the demo database, which is why it's up and down in regards to the stats. As well as that, you can do loads of filters. So you can filter by cash, card, check, mail order, vouchers, by keyword, by manufacturer, by member of staff, so how much money does each member of staff make, by type, by subtype. Now, you can filter however you want. Whenever you put a filter on, press show details, all the stats change for you. Now, if you want, you can press charts and reports like so, and there are hundreds of charts and reports there for you to be able to look through. I won't bore you with them all, but I'll quickly show you some, just because it'll allow you to see some features. So you can look, each day of the week, you can look income, expenditure, tax, profit, so it'll break it down daily, weekly, monthly. You can export that to the likes of Sage, QuickBooks, Xero, where we've got integrations with all of them. Excuse me. You can look at best income lines, worst income lines, best selling lines, worst selling lines, best profit lines, worst profit lines. You've got categories, so you could say how is electrical performing against alarms, performing against CCTV, if you sell all those things. Within CCTV, how is cameras performing against cable, etc. It'll break it down for you. You've got Miscellaneous transactions / activities. There's a section within the software that allows you to see anything that could be a theft by a member of staff, and it reports it out for you. As I say, if you want to see how we caught 3 members of staff stealing over £3,000 from me, go on our YouTube channel and you can see it on there. You've got petty cash overview, which shows money in and out of the till. You've got repeat purchase offers, which shows how much money has been made by each special offer being on. I'm not going to bore you with the rest with a load of these, because there's, as you can see, there are hundreds of different reports. I'll quickly show you a few other things. So you've got cash up report, the detailed cash up report. You've got banking summary. You've got staff performance chart, which might be important for you because it'll show you how much money each member of staff's made for you. To give you an idea, in my store I have 2 members of staff, one who's got an average spend of £8, one who's got an average spend of £32. Which member of staff would I rather have serving my customers? Obviously the one with the higher average spend, so it allows me to see what's selling them to who. You've got customer statements, as we went through on invoicing before. Quickly flick through them. So you've got income generated per hour of the day, income generated per day of the week, income generated over multiple months, income generated per hour, per member of staff per hour of the day. You get the idea. There are hundreds of reports, etc, etc, etc. Just so you know, if you've got multi-sites, you can see how they perform against each other like they are there. Last thing I'll quickly show you within there is, we're going to come to it later in labels, but all these different labels, so you'll have to excuse because they're all from different industries, but all these different labels have been produced through the system, and they're dead easy to produce, all from our shelf-edge table system. But to go back to stats, essentially any piece of information you want to know about your business and how it's performing can be found in there. The more we know about our business, the more we can make informed decisions, and if we make those informed decisions, we can look at how we can grow our business. Now we've just done statistics, I want to quickly show you our new web portal. So our web portal gives us a big overview of our business and we can see how it's performing at any time. So you literally click on web portal like so, and it brings you into our current web portal. Now let's quickly pick all stores, let's do the last month so we just get some data for you. It shows you an overview of how your business is performing. So you can see how many new customers you've signed up, how many transactions, products sold, total income, best customer, non-loyalty sales versus loyalty sales versus refunds. You've got what products you've sold, you've got what hours of the day are the busiest for you, so it'll break it down for what hours of the day you're busiest, or what days of the week are busiest for you as well. You've also got average transactional income. So basically you can see an overview of how the business is performing. You've got multi-store dashboards, so you can see multi-sites and how they perform against each other. You can see that store 3 is performing slightly better than store 1, etc. Total income again will be the same. Store 2 in this particular case has done more income, but store 3 has done more products and transactions. You can see an overview, in other words, of how the business is performing. The great thing about this hub though is you can manage your entire account with us from here, so you can look at like license keys, so you can move software around, you can move it from one computer to another without having to contact us. You can buy more keys from us, you can do tutorials so you can see how to actually do different features within the software. You can also download the software and you can choose different templates if you want to change the way that it looks. Although I've already talked about customer invoicing and stuff, and I want to talk about customer loyalty, because customer loyalty or customer rewards or CRM is the biggest and easiest way to grow your business. It's the way that if I came in as a consultant, that would be the way I would go about growing your business. There are only 3 ways to grow your business, which is to get more customers, to increase your average spend per customer, and to increase their number of visits. And the last 2 can be done so easily using customer loyalty. So normally when customer loyalty works, and in your case, you're going to have more customers than a typical retail store anyway, because you probably are doing trade counter stuff whereby you've got to have people's details. So the way you would normally sign someone up is you go in the sales screen and we do a new customer like so, and then you take their information. So you would want to take company name, you'd want to take personal's name, email address so you can send them an email, and you can also upload their list to Facebook and to YouTube and to Google. You'd want to take their mobile number so we can send them a text, and we want to take their postal address so we can write them a letter. All of those can be done using our system. You can do that just by taking details. You can also, just so you know, you could do it by giving them a card. The great thing about the card is that you give them the card and it goes in their purse or their wallet, and it means that they're constantly seeing your branding and their logos. Basically what happens then is when they come in, you swipe the card and it saves against the customer. Right, normally what happens is you give some sort of reward or some sort of discount or some sort of bonus for them signing up. The reason we want to do that is because the more people you've got on your loyalty scheme, or the more customers' information you've got, the more your business is actually worth. If someone was to look to buy your business, they're not really buying your products or your stock. What they're actually looking at buying is your customer base. So the more your customer base, or the bigger your customer base is, and the more it interacts with your business, the higher the value of your business actually is. If you were, as I say, if you're ever looking to sell it, that's what will give your business this massive increase in value, is how many customers have you got and how active, etc. they are within your business. So you want to give away things, actually. So you want to give features to your customers. So you want to do things like points, or you might do discounts or different price banding depending on how you want. You might want to reward your best customers with a much better price. You might want to do multi-buy offers. You might want to do vouchers. Anything you can think of in regards to how you want to give discounts, you can set up using our system. So if I go into our customer section, we've already shown you customer invoices, but you've got vouchers, so you can do gift vouchers, gift cards. You can do second screen advertising, which I'll come to later. Special offers. You've got customer groups, so you could say your best customers are in one group, or your electrical customers are in one group, your DIY are in another group, your CCTV in another group if you sell all those things. You've got customer orders, you've got customer database. I'll quickly show you customer database because it allows you to see some of the information you can pick up on your customers. So if I pick a particular customer, press individual customer statistics, this will show me how often this customer comes into store. So they've been in most frequently on a Tuesday, been in on a Monday. They've never been in on any other day. Their average transactional value is £271 per transaction. Let's see how that compares to all customers. So all customers in store, their average transactional value is £102. So this customer is actually worth quite a lot more to me than a typical customer. It'll show you how often they visit the store, their yearly spends, their refunds, etc. It'll also break down what products they've bought in store. So obviously we've already put transactions through with CCTV cameras, so it'll show those that have gone through today. So you do that for one, but again, you could do that for all customers. So we might say, what happens when someone buys, a key fob switch? What do people buy with it? When I press show details, this is going to show me what other products people buy with it. So we've sold 1,491 of those. Average when sold, average number of other products purchased. Shows you what products they buy with it, what season they buy, so what month of the year, what day of the week, so it's busy. Average sale when this product sold. So this average sale is less than the average transactional value of the entire store. So we might want to look at this product and work out how can we increase the amount of revenue that people spend whenever they buy that. Let's pick another product, see if we can pick one with a much higher. Let's have a look at an aerial, see if we get a much higher. Yeah. So if we pick an aerial, it'll show all the products that are bought, all the other products that are bought with it. But our average transactional value when we sell that product is £245. So that for me shows that this is a really good product that will link in your store together, because they buy 6.3 other products when they buy it. You can see that they buy most of them are sold actually in the summer and spring. Autumn virtually none are sold, and then winter's not as good either. So this is a product that sells more in summer. Again, that makes more sense in regards to it's easier to get up on your roof, etc. at that time of year. It's giving you information so you can make informed decisions. You can look at how can I increase average spend. Might it be that we want to put a deal together, a package together to try and increase average spend? Do we want to look at what products should be being sold with it and aren't, or what products are being sold with it, etc. In other words, it gives you the information. You can look at best spend periods, so you could say what is our best spend month for all customers. Press refresh and it'll show you every single month and what the best month is within your business. So it just gives you this overview. Right, that's data. So data is great. I really like data because it allows us to see what's happening, but I much prefer ways to actually directly make money from my system. So I click on marketing campaign here. We can actually create an entire campaign for you. So we can create a list. So we might want to say, let's look at who our best customers are within your business. So you might want to say over £250 spent. So you might say your best customers are people who've gone onto the store and spent in the last 3 years more than £250. Once I press recalculate here, it will show me how many customers have spent over £250, which is 1,480 customers. Now that's useful for you because you could then target them with a particular promotion, and you know that they're the ones who are most likely to react because they're the customers who've spent the most money in your business. You might want to say, well, if I was to ask you how many of your best customers have you lost in the last year, you probably wouldn't know. It'd be very rare that most businesses know that. So if I wanted to do that in here, so I could say anyone who spent over £250 and in the last 3 months hasn't been in at all. So what I've said there is anyone who spent over £250 in the last 3 years but has not been in for the last 3 months. So we have 1,480 customers who spent over £250. If I press recalculate, it shows that 953 of those customers have not been into this business within the last 3 months. So we've lost 953 customers who are our best customers. My question for you is, how many have you lost? We did this in my store and I found that I'd lost 1,286 customers within the last 12 months in my business. That was massive for me. We did a really simple promotion where we gave them a voucher. We gave them a £10 off voucher. If you want to see the video, look, it's on our YouTube channel. But basically, we sent them a text message with a voucher with £10 off. We managed to do £12,000 from that group of customers in one weekend. And then we managed, using a couple of different campaigns, which again, videos on YouTube channel, we managed to, over the next 12 months, do £80,000 from that group of customers. How much are your lost customers worth to you? The way that, just so you know, so I'll quickly show you some other things you can do there. You could do people who've bought a product, so you could say anyone who's bought an electrical item, or anyone who's bought an alarm. You could say anyone who's bought an alarm a year ago, and you can have campaigns ready to go so that you can try and sell them services. You could do the same with CCTV. You could say anyone who's bought CCTV camera but never bought cable. You can basically, you can link all these different things together. So you can do types, subtypes, people who've got a high average spend, people who've got a low average spend. You can do people who live in a particular area or have visited one store and not another. You can do all that. What that does is that creates a list. Just so you know, you can then export that list there in CSV or Excel, which you can put onto MailChimp, you can put onto Facebook. So on Facebook, you could take that group of lost customers, put an advert just to the people who've stopped shopping with you. That is so powerful. It's such a clever tool to be able to use. So you can do that. You can upload them to Google, which you can then put on YouTube as well. So that's what you can do. You can then, if you want, so if I wanted to create a text from here, so I could say test SMS. So I'm going to quickly do, let's do from Premier EPOS, and I'll do hi, if I can type, hi Chris, we are sorry to have missed you, in the store. Please accept £10 off your order this weekend. And then obviously you can create whatever text message you want, but I just want to do it so I can quickly show you how easy it is to create a text. So I want to quickly do a £10 one. We'll do 4. So we have done that, save changes. So that's created the text. I'm going to quickly create a test list so I don't send it to 900 customers. And I'll quickly do Chris. Add customer. So I've just added myself just so we can send the text to me. And then all I want to do here is create a campaign, which is the test list and test SMS. And then run campaign. So what you do now is press click send. And what that will then do is, that's then sent me a text message, as you'll see here. So if I quickly load that up, let's log into my phone. And it then created me, it says, hi Chris, we're sorry to have missed you, please accept £10 off in store. It's also showed that I couldn't spell pleased when I typed the text before. So again, you can see this is a real actual demonstration because it's put across the wrong spelling of please. What that does is, that gives the text message direct to the customer into their hand. Now, from your point of view, that's a really powerful message. You can do multiple campaigns. You could send them an email, a couple of emails and the text message, and you'll see massive results. If you want to see how we do this with loads of different businesses, log on onto our YouTube channel. There are loads of videos on how we grow our business using our customers. I would tell you, from my mind, this is the quickest way to grow your business. You can set up automatic lists, so you can do customers who are your best customers, your worst customers, your lost customers, people who've bought a particular product. You could say anyone who's bought a particular, so if they bought that CCTV camera we saw before, you can actually have a video set up showing them how to install it that you created. As soon as they buy that product, it can automatically send them a link to that video. This will massively improve your reputation with the customer. It will mean you get less support calls on that particular product and how you actually do it, and the customer will feel like you've given them this personal experience. There are hundreds of different ways to use this within your business, but for me, it's the most vital thing you will ever do, is to know who your customers are, learn how they interact with your business, and work out how we can get them to spend more money. The next section I want to talk to you about is shelf edge labels, or labels in general. So I showed you before a couple of labels, but I'll quickly show you how you can do it. So you pick a product, you click the question mark. If you want to produce a basic label, you just press print label and accept, and that'll then spit out a label for you there and then. If I want to do a slightly different label, like a sticky label, print a label, we pick a bigger label design on a different printer. And what that'll do is it'll use this printer, which is slightly slower than the thermal one, but it's just still a thermal printer, it's just a little bit slower. That produces a sticky label that can be stuck on the product at any time. So that can be really useful. You can put that on warehouse locations, you can put it direct onto a product. If I actually come out of the sales screen now and go into our label designer, let's quickly put that printer, we'll do way out label first. If I want to design labels, so if I don't like the way the labels look, you can drag, you can drop, you can insert an image like so, and that put an image in there. In other words, you can design any label you can think of, be it big, small, whatever. That is really useful for you. It can massively increase the speed of you producing labels. If I wanted to, I'll quickly produce a load of labels from stock, so I could do recent price changes, accept, and then select all and add selected to print list. I can then literally press print preview and print, and what this will do is it will spit out all my price changes and produce labels to go and be stuck on within your store, so you can actually go and stick the new prices on around the store. That is really useful. That really saves you time within your business. So you could do that. You can do labels based on like weigh out, so if you do weight versus scales, if you sell anything by weight, you could do them. You can do from stock, you can do custom labels, you can do big A4 labels. In other words, any label you can think of, you can build through our system. We're that confident in this section that we have multiple customers who've bought our entire software just to be able to use our label maker. It's a product in its own right, but you get it for free when you buy our EPOS system. Next, I want to talk to you about second screen advertising. So as you can see on all the tills that we have, so near enough all the tills we have actually, so you can buy it without a second screen, but most of them have second screens on them. Now, the great thing about the second screen is it's there for advertising purposes. So as you can see now, it's running adverts, promoting products within your store. Now, great thing for my particular business is I don't pay for my tills in my store. My reps pay me to advertise. So I have reps paying me to advertise. I have other local businesses that are complementary to my business. They pay me to advertise on the back screen, and that then pays for my system within my store. So that's great for me. So this rotates adverts, which is good for you because it's proved that research shows that people will stay in a queue 5 times longer if they've got something to watch. We're giving them something to watch by promoting products, and those products actually see a massive increase in spend when they're on my second screen. In my store, we see a product increase of 400% in regards to sales whenever the product is being advertised on the second screen. Now, there's a number of reasons for that, including the fact that normally they're on promotion, which is why we see this big increase. However, it's still an increase and it's still being promoted from our till. So this is rotating adverts. They rotate about every 10 to 15 seconds in my store. You can choose how long they do it in your store or how often they change. The great thing from your point of view though is as well, as soon as you put a product, so if we do into the cart, it changes from being a display, like an advertising screen into a customer pole display. So it basically puts those products into the cart for you. You can also have it when you select the customer and it will suggest products they normally buy. So if you select the customer, it will suggest products they normally buy in store. You can design this layout and customize it to however you want within your store. So let's press cash. When I complete my transaction like so, it works out the change, it puts the change on top if we had any change. Let me put that through quickly again actually, whereby you actually get some change. So if I do £10 now, it'll put the change on top for the customer so they can see how much they're due to get back. And then if we leave it for about 10 to 15 seconds, it'll then start rotating adverts again. This is an excellent addition to the software. You don't have to have second screens like that. You can have it on separate screens within the store. Some people have them on TVs. It's a full advertising package that's built within the software, whereby it can manage what goes onto a screen. We typically find that people who have these within the store, their sales increase automatically. So it's another good way to actually increase the amount of turnover within your business. Next, I want to talk to you about mobile versions of the software. So as you can see, we've got a tablet sitting here. Now the tablet is exactly the same as the actual till. So if I wanted to do, let's do bulk items and let's do aerials. So when I press a product like so, it puts it into the cart same way as it did on the actual sales screen on the actual till. Now, great thing about this is it's a full version of software. So you can have it, you could have, if you've got van drivers, you can have them with a full version and they can do deliveries from it, they can do customer orders from it. You can take this home, so you could run all your accounts from here. If I exit the sales screen, you can do your stock, your accounts and your customers. You can manage the entire business from a tablet if you want. Now, this will work also as your back office, so you could actually take it home of an evening and be working on it at home. If you've gone back, say, 4 or 5 years ago, every single system we sold went on a foot till system like this. I would say nowadays about 50% go out on a tablet like so. The great thing about this is it can link to your receipt printers, to your label printers, to your cash drawers. So it actually becomes a full till version. You can also have people in your warehouse having them dotted around your warehouse and picking orders and bringing stock in, etc. Suffice to say, it means that you've got a full mobile version here, and it means that you can do anything you can do on your till on that, which then massively improves your efficiency and means you're not stuck into a rigid structure of having to have tills on your counter and that being the only place you can work from. I use them in my store all the time and they've become a massive addition to my business. As well as the tablet that I've just shown, we've also got a PDA, so we've also got a mobile version on an app. So if I sign in here, what it's doing now is it's logging in to my businesses. And again, it's very like the tablet in regards to you can do, in this case, you can do nearly everything you can do on a till. So you can do stock control, you can do reordering, you can look at statistics, so you can be away from your store and look at how it's performing. You can do change stats, you can even put sales through on it. So I have people on my shop floor serving people on the handhelds. We do a handheld version with a barcode scanner that links direct to the app as well, which means that you can actually be scanning things, you can be receiving stock in, etc. You can be picking web orders, you can even be booking appointments and stuff on it all from there. This is our third generation of this app, so we've been doing apps for about 7 years, 8 years, and this particular app is our third generation, which has been out about 6 months. It basically means that you can do a lot of features without having to be on a till or without even having to be in store. It allows you to manage your business and give you a full overview just from the comfort of your phone. So that concludes our demonstration. I hope you managed to get everything you needed from the demo today. If you want to actually take a trial of software, go to electrical.premiereposlive.com and you can actually take a trial now, or you can click on the link below. So if you need anything, you can contact us on our support line. You can drop us an email at support.premiereposlive.co.uk. But basically, we want to work with you. So I hope you take a trial, and then I look forward to working with you in the future.